Okay, I guess I'm live. Welcome everyone to Playing with Paper Crafting's Crafty Thursday. I'm Heather Cooper of Playing with Paper Crafting. I'm a independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator based in Canada. And I would like to welcome you tonight. So tonight my focus here is on showing you how you can use a square column card like this one to create a swing card. And the swing card usually has an element in it that swings from flat when the card is closed to I guess horizontal or perpendicular to the front of the card as you open it. And so I saw this somewhere and then I couldn't find it again. So I tried to figure it out on my own. And I have a card coming up in my first online card class, or card to go class. And that will be posted as soon as I can get the registration up. There'll be 5 cards, all different, but this is one sample that I thought we could use. So tonight, though, we're just going to make one of these using Thoughtful Journeys Designer Series paper and the textured metallic specialty paper here. Okay, so we will maybe get started with that right away. So I've got the I think I'll just raise it up so you can see it. I've got the dimensions of this. If I try to hold it, I'll shake and then you won't be able to see them. But I can post a picture of that at the end, or on when I post the video, I can add that to it, to the comments. Okay, so I'll just leave that handy so that you can see it. I just want to get to my Playing with Paper Crafting page so that I can see any comments that might come up. Yeah, and then I'll be able to respond. Okay. So we're going to start off with our card base. These cards use a regular card base, believe it or not, even though they've got that square column in there. The square column folds flat, and so it just pops up when you open the card. So it's a regular card base. So a regular card base, as most of you may know, is 5.5 by 8.5 and scored at 4 1/4. So we'll just do this. This is Blackberry Bliss, this paper, cardstock. So I'll just give that a crease, a burnish, to have a nice sharp crease. Now I've gone and used the Deckled Circles to die cut a hole which is the same size as the largest circle that's going to fit through it, and that is this textured metallic specialty paper that I've cut a piece out. So I've gone ahead and already die cut a hole in it. You can do this 2 ways. You can glue on your DSP to the front and then die cut through both, or you can, and that way the DSP will come right to the hole, or you can add your DSP afterwards. And to do that, what you're going to do is take the next biggest deckled circle and die cut a hole in your DSP. Now the way I did that was I just put the DSP on where I wanted it to be, and of course that was all filled in at the time, and then I opened it like this, and I traced this smaller circle on the back, and then I used the larger die, and I just centered it around the smaller circle and die cut this larger hole. So there's two ways you can do it. The adding the DSP first, designer series paper first, and then die cutting might seem like the least complicated way of doing it. Okay, so but what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add this. I'm going to center the designer series paper around the hole, and then put some adhesive on the back and add it to the card front. And then we're going to leave the card base for a while and concentrate on doing that square column. This is really a deceptively simple card to make. It looks like it'd be really complicated, but it isn't. So the dimensions for this piece of DSP is 5 3/8 by 3 3/8. It might be a wee bit more than 3 3/8 because oh, getting a phone call. Darn. Might be a wee bit more than 3 3/8 because it is what's left over after I cut out the strips that go on the inside. But I'm going to just move this out of the way, and I'm going to bring on the white. Okay, so the white is cut at 5 1/4, okay, by 10. So that's this right here, the white insert, 5 1/4 by 10. And it is scored at 4 inches, 5 1/2. So this 4 inches is what, the inside of the card would normally be. But then every 1 1/2 inches after 4. So 4, 5 1/2, 7, and 8 1/2. And now I'm just going to fold them towards me, each one. And this is what's going to make the column. And just burnish them really well. Okay, so actually it's going to be this way, and this last strip is what's going to secure the column in the card, like so. Okay, so I hope this is bright enough for you guys to see. See how that goes. Okay, so on this piece here, I'm going to use some Seal Plus to really. Seal Plus is stronger adhesive than Stampin' Seal, so I'm just going to use 2 strips of that. And that should secure it very strongly. And then what I'm going to do is tuck that under, make sure that it's straight, and then I'm just going to flatten this out this way. Okay, and then we will have our column. All right. Now before I go to put it inside the card base, I'm going to do what I need to do before we get going. One thing I want to do is stamp the inside greeting, which is thinking of you fondly. So I'm going to stamp that inside. I'm going to use, heaven help me, Blackberry Bliss. I say that because Blackberry Bliss is such an intense color, and I inevitably get it somewhere that I don't want it, and it causes lots of problems. You may have noticed that I'm not using my phone tonight. I got myself a new webcam, and I'm hoping that the sound on this one, the microphone on this, will be much better than the old one. So you can leave me a comment if you happen to catch up to me, telling me how you think the sound is on this. And while we're stamping, we might as well just get it over with and stamp "You Make Life Better" on this circle here. Okay, and this is going to be on the swing part. Okay, well, that's that one. Honestly, my wipes dry out so quickly in this hot weather. Where we live, it is blistering hot. Well, I mean, if you live in the States, it's probably not as hot as some of the southern states, but it is. If you're in Fahrenheit, it has been close to 100 or over, so it's pretty hot. And it's so dry here. We're known for our forest fires. We've already got one burning close to us. And we had so much rain in June, I thought we'd be free from them for a little while, but it doesn't take long for the forest to dry out. You know, a couple of weeks of this weather and is all it takes. Okay, so I've got, for these panels of DSP, I have some Blackberry Bliss mats, and the mat is 5 1/8 by 1 3/8. Okay, so I'm just going to use seal for those, and just a strip of adhesive on either side should be enough. They're so narrow you don't really need to go across the bottom because most of that is already taken up. That was painless. There we go. Much better. And let's do the next one. So I cut everything right, but the insert, I made it too wide. Put it at 5 1/2 instead of 5 1/4. Okay, and now we can put these on, and these go in order this way. Let's see. Yep, this is the right order, this way. Not that it matters, you can hardly tell which goes first. If you have ones that do have a specific order, though, it's kind of nice to keep them in order from the outside to the inside. Okay, and this one. Make sure that I'm on camera for you. Okay. This paper is so pretty. It just makes card There's not much more you have to do with it, really. It's right in front of me. Blending in with the background. Okay. So I'm going to use glue for this, and I'm going to add it to this panel here. So I'm just going to shake my glue down to the tip and then just add very little pressure and tiny little dots of glue to places where it's wider. It's a case of can't see the forest for the trees. I was just blending in with my mouse pad. Okay, and when I've got glue, I always find it easier to use my tweezers. To position my there. Whoops. Move. Just let that set there. Doesn't matter if it overlaps there a little bit, because when it's flat, you know, it's not going to matter, and when it's raised, it's not going to matter. Okay. So now what we want to do is add this to the inside of our card. So to do that, we're going to start by just adding this inside bit, and that'll go from 4 inches. So 4 inches goes to about here. Yeah, it goes to about that score line. So this will go onto the inside of our card. And when we get it in there, we also want to adhere this to the card as well, but we want to do it without having any adhesive without any adhesive coming out through the hole. So I'll show you how to do that. So I'm giving about 1/8 of an inch border around the edge. Okay, and now I'm just going to flatten this, and I'm going to use my pencil and just very, very lightly show where that circle comes. Okay, and now I'm going to add adhesive, and this time I'm going to use the Seal Plus for that. Hi, Terry. Didn't see you there. I was engrossed for a minute. So I'm just going to add this stronger adhesive so that we can make it pop up when we there we go, when we open the card. Okay, we're getting there, almost done. So now we have a pop-up. I can open that. Sometimes it will collapse when you put too much pressure on it, but it's easy to pop it back up again. Okay, now we want to glue this onto this panel right here. Okay, can you see that? So it's easy to, it would be nice to be able to fit the decals, I guess you could call them, inside, like fit them inside each other. And there is a spot, we can just stick this in for a minute, it makes it easier to find. There is a spot that has like a major indentation. Let's see, looks like it might be around here. If it takes me too long to find, I won't bother. I would on if I was just doing this on my own, but I don't want to take up too much time here. Yep, there it is. Oh no, that's not it either. Where is that? Little critter. I'm finding it on the circle, just not. I think that might be it there. Yep, there we go. So I found where they fit together. So I'm just going to turn it over. We've got basically what we want there. Remove that. And now let's again use the Seal Plus to add some adhesive on there. And then we'll turn this back over and try to find that again. Yeah, there we go. Got it. Okay. Okay. So that's how that fits on. And now we can glue this on. If you want it to be nice and flat in the mail, seeing as how it has some extra thickness already, you can just glue it on straight. If you want it to have a little extra oomph to it, you can add some dimensionals. And 3 should be enough. You know, the 3-legged stool idea. It's always going to be level, because 3 points defines a plane, if you remember your geometry. Okay, now we just need to make sure that we're centering this. Okay, so there's that, and there you have your swing card. Okay, and if we want to jazz it up a little bit, we can add these, our 3-color, what's the name of this again? Pearl Trio, adhesive back Pearl Trio. And I'm going to use a lavender colored one and a pink one up here. And then again, I'm going to use a couple of lavender ones down here. And one more, and that makes an odd number, which is pleasing to the eye. All right, well, thanks for watching tonight, everyone. And I will be back next Thursday for Crafty Thursday again. This is Heather Cooper, playing with paper crafting, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the sunny Okanagan Valley. And we'll see you next Thursday. Okay, good night.